If you can just share a little bit about, yourself, your story, that would be very, very helpful.
Okay, thank you, Silky, for introducing me like that. That's I feel great. I am so glad to be to have met Silky and to have her a part of my life, because it truly has changed a large aspect of my life, and I truly believe that I am alive because of the things that Silky has taught me. Just to give you a little bit of background, that I was diagnosed with breast cancer. Did chemo and radiation and a bunch of other things, and a mastectomy, and they thought that the cancer was gone. And then within a year later, I was then re-diagnosed with stage 4 metastatic breast cancer, where it had returned in my bones. And we discovered this by my spine. I broke two vertebrae in my spine. I've broken 2 ribs. Or the cancer had done that. And during that time, my husband at the time had decided that he couldn't handle this anymore. And so I was also going through a divorce. So massive depression and not wanting to get out of bed and just really thinking that I was going to die. And that was not the case. And with the diagnosis, there is the statistics for my diagnosis are not very good. So all I would do is go into doctor's offices and then be told, we're gonna put you on painkillers, and then we're gonna try a bunch of different types of pills and chemo, and to try to prolong your life, basically. And right now, I have just finished a 6-month chemo course, but because of the things that I've been doing with Silky, I am on the lowest dose of painkillers, and that's just because the doctors have basically said don't go off, because if you need them, then you have to go up to high doses again. And I am in remission. That the cancer cells they were very, very active and aggressive, and they are now not. That they're in. I believe that I have full health and vitality. And that is one of the things that Silky has taught through her alignment and recodes, and everything that she was talking about today has just made such a huge, huge difference in my happiness and my zest for life and my ability to be alive. And I fully credit that our working together and our sessions to be a major part of this.
Amazing. Thank you, Heather. Do you mind just give also a little bit of detail, just in the way that this unconscious mind alignment was able to do for you, so that they can, people can actually really understand from your perspective what it is, how does it help you, and why did it work?
So the unconscious mind alignment, I can use you were using the example today of getting sort of pricked by a pin. I have to go through CAT scans and bone scans, and ever since I've been diagnosed, I developed a huge fear, a huge anxiety around going to these scans, and even just thinking about them, I would sort of get heart palpitations. That I had developed a huge fear. And with what you and I have done together and talked about, focusing on my true north and that I am, but that I am healthy and vital and alive, that these scans are nothing to be afraid of. And despite, even though sometimes I still got some bad scan results, but that now I don't. And I used to have to take drugs before I would go into the scans because I was so afraid of them, and now I don't take any of. I just go in and just like it's any other day. And that it really helped me just sort of maintain that alignment with my health and vitality. That is my true north. That I get to live. I get to be part of it. To get to be part of life, and I get to live it. And I don't need to be afraid of the scans because there's nothing to be afraid of. And that you helped eliminate. So that was like a bunch of just a simple rock when you were talking about the energy flow, and we removed that.
That is amazing. That's actually quite a big boulder. I have to say
it was huge.
Intensity of the emotions there, but this just goes to show that even psychologically, even consciously, you know that you shouldn't fear doing a scan.
Yeah.
But because you have attached really trauma to that, it instigated the fear. And
Yes.
we are able, so the unconscious mind alignment process, would you say that's the part that actually helped you remove that?
Definitely. I
Awesome.
can say that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I said,
and I know even if I feel it coming up, I can contact Silky and just be like, okay, we need to do another an alignment and go through it, and then I could go about my business and not have problems and not take the anti-anxiety pills and stuff like that.
Yeah. So let me just explain a little bit more. Just think about the storm, like I said in this example, the boulder as your resistance, the fear that is stopping you, that is just causing you so much angst, stress, and anxiety. As we do the unconscious alignment process, I literally will chip away. It will literally chip away at the resistance itself until such time that the resistance is so small that all of a sudden your energy just gushes through. So you literally will just go from not being able to confront people, in my example, and just now, I'm okay. You did something, you didn't uphold your agreement. I will come and I will speak to you. I will confront you. So it will be like that. And you may not even be conscious. You may not even feel anything. And you'll be like, Silky, did we do something? Just wait. Because the time for which this boulder gets crumbled, you literally will go from not being able to take the action, like not being able to make the sales call, scared of talking to people on the sales call, to just pick up the phone and call people. You will literally feel the difference. And it's also the difference of me literally running this workshop from not wanting to run a workshop. So it absolutely untangles and resolves. Now, this is not the only part, and I repeat this again, just by having a modality is not the part that will have you cancer-free. There's another huge component, like what Heather has just said, True North. Can you please talk to people about the importance of that work and how that has helped you to basically be on the journey and be in the certainty that you are embodying health and vitality, and that is who you are?
Yeah. For instance, exactly. And every morning I wake up and I visualize my true north, and of me being perfectly healthy and in perfect health, and what it feels like, and what my emotions are, and how wonderful it feels to have perfect health, and that sort of it makes all the difference between me waking up and having a day where I feel achy and painful and my body aches, to not having that. And so let's try.
Okay.
Sorry.
So there's a difference between just people teaching you to just meditate and then visualize health and vitality to what I teach.
Yes.
Remember so I talked about the structure yesterday. I don't know whether you were on, but if you can just really just let the people know, what do you think in terms of how this part played out in your life, in terms of the structure, be in the right structure, because that's so important. Just by visualization itself is not going to get you there, but there's a difference in terms of the structure for which you are in. So
it's also not I'm not sure if I'm going to explain this properly, but
okay.
I'm not denying or trying to fight against having cancer. I'm not trying to tell my body not to have cancer. I'm in the space of belief, and it's definitely in my mind, that I don't have cancer, that I don't have to fight against it. And so that's my true north, that it's not something that I need to worry about or fixate on or have resistance against, because it's not a part of my life. It's not who I am. And that's different than say visualizing and saying, okay, I'm going to visualize the cancer going away, or I'm going to visualize pieces of that. So it's different being in that way. Did that make sense? Sorry. I don't explain it as well as you.
Yep, 100%. So those two are not the same thing. But I think the most important part is that Heather was able to orientate in the right structure. Literally, it took us a while of the first few months to get the structure correct. Because you have to understand, how old are you? Like, I'm not saying how old are you, but I'm saying, think about how old you are. You literally carry that age of way of doing things, behavior, patterns, thought patterns. It will take you a while to reorientate yourself to think a different way. So our first few months of work is literally just reorientating the structure to be in a success structure, such that Heather can win. And visualization meditation is just a modality. Modality on its own, without the structure, doesn't get you to where you need to be. Yes, you can have some improvement, just like any weight loss program. If you focus on the outcome, yes, you can lose weight, but you're likely going to yo-yo back. So we set up in the correct structure for the first few months, such that she's got the pillars to enable her to fast track to her success. How long have we been working together?
I think it's been about 6 months. Yeah.
So from 6 months, from literally, I'll let you explain where you are, where that was, and where you are.
At that point, I had just been diagnosed where my skull was crumbling at the base of the top of my spine, and that my ribs, that it had expanded into the ribs, and I was going to need further treatment, and treatment that was going to make me very sick. And during this time, I did the chemo, and I also feel it allowed my body. My body allowed the treatment to work when I've done chemo before, and it didn't do anything for me. So it's now these bones have healed, and they're surprised. Like the scans that I've had as of September, October, the scans have showed that the bones up in my skull have healed, that there's no damage to my brain, that it didn't spread past, and they were very worried about that. And I just had to stay on my true north, that I wasn't worried that this was going to go my way. And now I'm not on chemo, and that the scans are showing improvement in all of my bones. So
what did the doctors say to you? Were you an outlier?
Yes. Oh, definitely. They were shocked. They were very surprised that they were just like, because they're just trying to prolong. Every time I go in there and I walk in there, they're like, you don't look like what you should look like on paper. And I know that they're always like, what when they read through, they're like, excuse me, this is, you're feeling okay? You're doing this? This is, you shouldn't be able to be doing these things. And I am. So, yeah.
This is the power of demonstrating to you when you are in the structure of creation, true creation, anything is possible. It really doesn't matter what the medical says about, or the statistics say about, you would be in this, in the problem, in the fixing yourself structure, in the problem, in the failure structure, all the statistics and everything else, you'll be in the herd of all of these people. But once you understand how to come into this success structure, the creative structure, anything is possible. It really means miracles. It really means you didn't think that you can be cancer-free to absolutely not. Anything is possible. You can completely have health and vitality no matter where you are. That is the significant difference. This is where the magic happens. And I'm so, so proud of you that you're living this way. And honestly, I'm so confident in Heather's ability to completely own her health and vitality. So much so that by 2022, this was the dream that she came to me with 6 months ago. By 2022, she would have recovered. she would have completely become a woman of inspiration to many, many other patients out there. When she came to me, she said to me, "You were the last one standing." Was that correct? Can you say that?
Yeah, that I was in a group of women that, and they have all died. They've all passed away, and I'm still here. And yeah,
that's very,
means a lot.
Very inspiring. So she had a lot of fear around her around that. Now, I'm so confident that in 2022, she will be able to own her health and vitality so much so that will become cancer free. So I'm even happy to just even say it there. Just because, and this is the direction that both of us are going, and I know that if you stay on the ground of your true north, that you'll definitely be able to get to that destination. And it doesn't need to take time. Guys, conventional are basically telling you it takes a lot of time for you to instigate change. But if you really understand the science of change, the energy of change, you will know that change is instant. The time it takes you to convince yourself that you can change is the time that it takes for you to change. So if Heather has the conviction to go this path, then there will be just the time for which everything will shift. She will literally wake up one day and just go and be like, I feel really good. I don't know what's happening to my body. Let me go in for a check. And then all of a sudden, she'll go in and the doctor will be like, I don't know what happened. We can't find any cancer. That is literally my prediction. And I'm putting my reputation on the line for this because I have so much conviction in what I teach, in the examples that I have already given you, that one of my peers went from 20 years of blind to now not blind. People go from not walking to walking. And these are just like health and wellness examples. You know, trauma, depression, all of those can completely be resolved by any and all of this work. Anything else last to say, Heather?
Not really, just that I am so grateful that we crossed paths, but I also know that we were meant to. So that I was meant to be in your program, we were meant to meet, and yeah, that it's been wonderful.
That is amazing.
Thank you.
All right.